Hello, everyone. It's your friend Alex again. Today, I just want to quickly give you some orientation when it comes to my view as an extra position when it comes to we're talking about NSAS. We have this Black Lives Matter. Now, a lot of people for many years will be talking about restructuring. Even if you look inward to the mind of Buhari, he himself have actually highlighted the word restructuring. Now, if you go back to when APC was coming into power, they used the word change. They focus on change, change, change. They never understand what change is all about. So, looking at election and politics, or election and the people. So you found out that Edo State was one of the cities in Nigeria that actually understand what change is all about. They were the one who actually grabbed the change first before other community. So I'm just going to highlight and give you some of the area that you need to educate yourself on, and for you to know the area when we are talking about citizenship, we are talking about leaders of tomorrow that we are not saying we are today, no more tomorrow. These are the area you need to focus on. It's about bringing your image, bringing your ideas, bringing your vision together to know where you are going. You cannot just come out and say riot. You cannot just come out and say NSAS. You cannot just come out and say I want to lead, but you need to pass through process. These are some of the area which I think is good for you, is good for me, is good for everybody to look into and see what is the next step. So now, when we talk about this restructuring, these are my area that I think you need to focus on. First, let's look at the things. What are the things? The need. What are the need for better Nigeria? Ask yourself, what is the need for better Nigeria or change in your life? This question is very important because if you are not focusing on these things, this area, it's not because everybody is watching TV. Did you see what happened yesterday? Did you see what happened in the other city? Did you see how many people army have killed? Don't you see how NSAS is really, really good? No, this is not what it's all about. What it's all about is that what do you think? How do you want? What is the need for that better tomorrow Nigeria that we're talking about? What change do you want in that community? So again, you need to also focus on your vision. Your vision, how you want it to be. How do you want this change? When we're talking about change, what comes about change? How you want your community to be? How you want Nigeria to be? It's about focusing on it, writing it down. How you gonna put in? I don't know. But however, you have group, you have individual that you talk to, you have platform that you register. You want to engage your community. You want to go about making change in society. Don't just create group. Like now, we have unlimited WhatsApp group in our community. Don't just create group without knowing the purpose of the group. If you are one of those people, close all your group now. Close all your group right now. Don't be among those people who are saying I belong to group, but you are not effective. You are not doing anything change in your community. You are not in line with the purpose of people coming out to say end SARS, restructuring. You are just making noise just because everyone is talking. You want to talk. Then the next step is for you to reduce your religious mindset. Reduce your religious mindset and focus on what matter most. You know, this is when you look at your culture, you look at your tradition, how this can how can you make the important society the way it is? How can you bring in the society? How can you make the society important? How can you make that change that yes, we really, 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 really want? You know, what has been good in your society, what has been good in your tradition, what has been good in your culture, what exactly can this fit in when we are talking about international relation? So this is where you need to look at when we are talking about culture and tradition. We also need to have in our mind international relation. What relationship do you have with your neighbor? How do you want people to come in? Because we are talking about economic growth now. That is where your culture, your tradition, your lifestyle matters. What do they see that people want to change? Like some people want to go holiday for a month now. What do you think will make American come to your country or your city and spend a week without feeling bored, and spend a month with their safety? These are things you need to look at for. So when you are saying end SARS, we want to be leaders of today, we don't want to be leaders of tomorrow anymore. These are things, areas you need to focus on. Because if you are the one who doesn't value your culture, you doesn't value your tradition, you doesn't care about the society where you belong to, then I will not advise you to join the protest, because you might be among those people that will actually give money to, and you change your mind, because you don't know the purpose. You don't value all your mindset is religion. You focus on that religion. Maybe if you are a Christian, everything is about Christian. Or if you belong to this church, everything is about particular church. You need to broaden your mind. Say, what kind of mindset will I build so that my focus will be about culture, about my tradition, about my society? How the society will brought about change that will include every community, your neighbor, maybe your family. If you are making an individual change, that's when you look at your extended family. Now, this is where you need change. We are talking about change. This is where you need change now, because you have seen many areas now. You now know the purpose of when you need to now. You need to create a group. Don't just create a subgroup. Don't just create any group because you want change. It's about time now. Okay, let me do this. Even if it's one person you have on that group, you start with that one person. 6 months, 2 years. There is no country today that have more than one leader. You only have one president, one deputy prime minister, or whatever president. You have assistant president, you have governor, you have the deputy. So there is no way you have 100 people leading a country. You have 2 people to make decision. Now, if you belong to that your group, you already make that decision what you want. Then you now create extension. If you didn't organize yourself, you didn't know where to make change, it will be very difficult. You have to look at what has been working well and what has not been working well. What sacrifice you need to make, because this is where you need to make your sacrifice now. It is very important you make your sacrifice. You say, okay, is it about time? Is it about time? If you are talking about sacrifice, that's when you create time for change and to see things differently. This is about the big picture now. You have to say, okay, inclusion, you value people, value the society, as I said before, you value your environment. You look at the assets. When we're talking about assets now, you're talking about people in your community. You're talking about education system. You're talking about educators. You're talking about maybe if you go further, it's about how you can brought about education now, telling people who are capable in your community. When talking about people who are capable, I know there might be judgment. You say, oh, this one has been in government for a long time, we don't need them. No, we need everybody. When we are talking about change, it doesn't matter. You can still bring in your change if you want the youth to be leading. The purpose of youth crying NSAS now is as a result of group of people doesn't need the youth. But when there's election, the youth are very important, isn't it? So you need to also be careful when you are removing all the adults and saying they doesn't know. In a developed world today, adults make the society. Adults are making the economy more booming. Yes. Are you talking about hospital? Are you talking about care homes? These are the things that bring in money to society. We're talking about care systems now. Majority of youth doesn't really care about whether there is hospital or not. And the adults from 40 years old, these are the people that really need care system. They need proper care. That is why you see in developing world now, majority of adults who are in government, they focus on traveling to go and get better healthcare system for themselves. They treat themselves. They go out for MOT, checking themselves about tomorrow, what's going to change, what the right medication they need. So these are things you need to bring in to make sure income, economy, these things are booming. So it's about you focusing on educating yourself, educating your group that you set up. You cannot just set up a group and just ignore that group, or trying to be the one who posts unlimited things on that group every day. You know, it's about being practical. Now, this is where you also look at inclusion. It's very important what culture you belong to. How are you going to include other people? Are you just going to say it's only you, or it's only those who belong to your family, or those your childhood friend? These are the game that is affecting our community today. Oh, my childhood friend, those are the only one I need. Old boys cart, old boys group, old boys game, old boys picture. These are people who were actually a failure in their community. They are able to come back together again to continue failing the society or blackmailing the society, because they can do things together. Your friend cannot correct you. Your friend cannot tell you what to do. If you do anything stupid, your friend will support you. That is how we were talking about childhood. Now, when you're talking about making a society that works for everyone, you know, is about, you don't want to forget that citizenship. You need to look at what is citizenship now. You know, majority of Africans doesn't understand citizenship. The law system in Africa work more than the law system in developed world. But the fact that Africans doesn't understand citizenship, they disvalue their law. So the lawyers and the police, the security system, take advantage of them because they don't understand these things. It's just like you don't know what you really did, what your care system is all about, what your care plan is. Doctor will be making use of you, making jest of you. Doctor doesn't care about your safety. If anything happens to you, doctor will quickly inform your family. There will not be question about death of that person in hospital. But when there is a structure in place, that doctor knows that if someone died in my hospital, something will happen. I will lose this. I will be accountable for it. That is when you now know doctor will be serious. The same thing comes when we're talking about citizenship. When the citizens understand their rights, come on, the government will change themselves automatically. Police that is going to kill one person in community, police will know that if I kill one person today, tomorrow I'm not coming back to this community. Tomorrow we are not going to be the police anymore. Police will make sure they prove and they work according to the citizenship expectation. But because many people doesn't understand citizenship, they just, they don't care, they live anyhow they like. Police know you live anyhow life. Some say any which way. When it comes to restructuring your country, when it comes to giving birth to a new society, it's not about anyhow. You must understand citizenship. Know your right. If you know your right, you won't burn police station down. If you know your right, you won't destroy that mansion, that they spend lots of money to build. If you know your right, you won't kill anybody, because you don't know if that person will be the best president for you tomorrow. So now, let's focus now on thinking of restructuring and creating new lifestyle now, or changes that you really want. So this is where you look at health reform. What do I really need? What is important when we talk about health reform? What has been working? Do you have research group? This is where you need research group now in the society. When you are asking questions, better care, better hospital, better police, what research group have you engaged in? What have you done, that what you bring in is going to work? You don't want tomorrow leader to come and tell you, I'll be the next president tomorrow. I'll provide this, that for you. They haven't done their research. You put them there, they're not going to be different from the past. So this is where you now wake up to know what research organization do we have? What research youth do we have? What research structure do we have? So that they will know what has worked, what cannot work, what will work, and where we need to start. Did you see? So at the end of the day, when we look away from this area, there is nothing we can do. Now, you also need to focus on people's questions. People's questions are the key area. It doesn't matter. There's nothing like stupid question when you are talking about restructuring. There's nothing like this one is useless. I don't like this group. I don't like Yoruba people. I don't like Benin people. I don't like Igbo people. You know, you are not, that means you are not serious about restructuring. We are talking about restructuring, then a lot of people focusing on dividing the country is a lie. Even if you divide the country, you are dividing the same people. The same people. You know, I've been working with Nigeria all over the world. Nigerian, both those who were born Britain, American, European, and I found out that there is no difference. So if you are about to change them, put them in one place, you might be actually changing them to put them among those who are really needed most, the less privileged. So more people will be dying, more people will be suffering, more people will be marginalized in that community now. But when we all are together, more change can come into place. There's no problem like when a lot of people were talking about the community need to come together. So now the community coming together is not about you closing your organization. It's not about you closing your union. It's not about you closing your community group. It's about you creating more community group. Then, but everyone belongs to one pocket that is structured, who knows what they are doing, who are not blind, who are not those who wants to be sa, ma. Those who actually care for the people. You know, no, as you're doing this now, don't forget the mindset of job creation. Yes, now when you're talking about health reform, you're talking about security, you're talking about those things, that's where you talk about job creation. Job creation, health promotion, security, and those who need the most. This is about inclusion again. They all need to come together. It is everyone's right to get all these things. So without job creation, no matter how much you give to people that doesn't have job, they're still going to come back again. Without educating them, even if you give them that job, they will not know how to do it. So these are challenges now. So when you are creating job, you are engaging in health reform. You're talking about maybe police reform. You're talking about government reform. You're talking about election reform, societal reform. Whichever you are focusing on is about job creation, economical structure, security, and focusing on those who really need the most. You know, yes, as I said, inclusion. Without inclusion, you are not going anywhere. Lastly, you need time. Just as you need time that counts number 1, 2, 3, the same thing you need sacrifice. You need sacrifice. And you must have these things, because if you don't have them, you're going to lose everything you've been doing. You need time. You need to sacrifice something for it. Are you going to sacrifice maybe your company? Are you going to sacrifice maybe your selfish community? Or we're going to be loose now? We need to be open for all. Are you going to say, okay, inclusion, everybody together, bringing everyone together, you know, accepting people the way they are, but focusing on citizenship, as I said before. So this is my own take. This is my own orientation for every one of you in the community. And you can be able to add to this depending on your community where you belong. You know, it's very important that every man, every woman, every community leader understand these things. Because when you go into community, try to make people give them life. You give them whatever you think is best for them, but not valuing them, not understanding citizenship, not giving them the right education, not able to sacrifice to build and promote inclusion, you are not going anywhere. This is my take for you, and I will leave you for now, and may God bless every one of you. Thank you very much for supporting our community, and stay blessed. This is me again, Alex Oni Edige. Love you.